Hello guys, welcome back. Thank you for working hard for me, turning in your assignments and any incomplete assignments, resubmitting those. I really appreciate that. Remember, tomorrow is our deadline to turn in any assignments for Unit 1 because tomorrow is the day that we take the test and we finish the unit. Thursday, we're going to move on to the next unit, which will be logic and reasoning. And we're going to start out with patterns. It's kind of really a fun day, actually. So tomorrow we're going to take the test, just a few things about that. Make sure that whenever you're taking the test, you show all of your work on the PDF and mark it up just like you would as if it was a homework assignment. So that'll prove to me that you are actually doing it. Also, make sure that you're doing your own work and you're not working together with anyone, and you're not looking off your notes or your assignments or anything like that. Okay, just like we did the practice test. So the other thing is there's really no reason for you guys to cheat on this test because we've gone over the practice test and you should know how to do all those problems. So just take it. So however you do, that's how you do, and just let that be it. Another thing is after we take all three of these tests this quarter, when we come back, we're going to have a midterm, which is just going to be a test that has problems from all three units, which will be a test that we take in class. Okay, so if you were cheating on these three tests, I'm going to find out whenever you take that midterm, and I'll replace your test scores with that midterm, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, if it's not close, okay, and if it doesn't benefit you. So make sure you're being honest. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's looking. And I understand this is really difficult, and I'm really uncomfortable giving you guys a test whenever I'm not there to watch you, because I know temptation, and when you guys are young, this is even when you're old, it's difficult to cheat, not to cheat. So please do the right thing. I know you guys genuinely have a drive in you that you want to learn, you want to know this stuff, not just cheat your way through high school. So I commend you guys for that. And also, we're kind of stuck in this situation together, so let's try to make the best of it. You could try to cheat your way through this first quarter, but it's going to show up and you're going to be lost, and you're going to struggle for the rest of the year. So please be honest, do your own assignments, do your own work. Also, I'm trying to remove any barriers as well to your learning by giving you guys the solutions. So you have help, so you should be able to figure out and know how to do all the problems. That's the whole goal here, is I want you guys to learn all this. And so I've been making some adjustments, which is very odd for me as a teacher to do some things that I've been doing. But I'm going to try to just keep making sure that I'm doing what's best for you and for your learning. And part of that is lecturing you about integrity. Okay, so do the right thing, please, and everything will be all right. So I'm excited. I think you guys are going to do really well on the test. So I'm not even really concerned, because it's going to be really similar to the practice test, and you guys did really well in the practice test. So without any further ado, we're going to get right into to the assignment today. There's really nothing new. We're just going over area and perimeter for a review. So let's look at number 1. So on number 1, we want to find the area of the parallelogram. So on this one, we're finding area. It's the base times the height. When we find the height, we always look for the right angle. So this side here, or this measurement, the altitude, is going to be perpendicular to the base, and it's a measurement of 3. So our base is going to be the base on the bottom. In order to find out what that is, we know it's going to be congruent to this one because they both have congruency markings with 2 on them. So we know it's 20. So the base times the height is 20 times 3, which is equal to 60 meters squared. Number 4. This one is a triangle, so now our formula is the base times the height divided by 2. Still, to find the base is not going to be 15, the base is not going to be 10. We always look for the altitude first, which is going to be the right angle. So we have a height of 8, which is measured off of this base here, which is going to be 23. So when we plug it into our formula, it's going to be 23 times 8 divided by 2. We can actually reduce this before we put it in the calculator, which is kind of cool. So this would be... we can actually reduce that to 4. So 4 times 23, anyway, which would be 46 and 46, which is 92. Yeah, 92 inches squared. So yeah, you could do it in your head by doing just some mental math and reducing your fractions first. But no need to do that. Just do it in your head, in the calculator. Number 7. So on this one, we want to find the area by deconstruction. We got a triangle on the top and a parallelogram, or a rectangle, in other words, on the bottom. So to find the area of the parallelogram, that was pretty easy. 22 times 5, we can do 10 times 11, so same thing, which is going to be 110. So 110 inches squared. That's going to be the area for the rectangle. And then for the triangle, it's base times height divided by 2. And this 22 is going to be exactly the same as that 22, right? So the bases are the same. So 22 times 8 divided by 2, which would be the same thing as like 11 times. So if we divide that, Let me show you here. So it makes it easier to do our mental math. That would be 11 times 8, which is going to be 88. So 88 inches squared, that's going to be the area of the triangle on top. So then we add those together, which will give us, I believe, 192. Yeah, so 192 inches squared. There we go. Oh, just 1, 2. So that's going to be your total area altogether. On these, if you'll show your work at the very least, because I know you can just plug that in the calculator, at least label the area for the rectangle and the area for the triangle, and then the answer. That way I can see that you're actually doing it. All right, find the area of the perimeter of each figure. So here we have a rectangle. Again, if this is 5, that's 5 because of congruency marks. If that's 9, that's 9 because of congruency marks as well. So the area is going to be 5 times 9. We're assuming all of these angles are going to be right angles if they look like they're right angles, at least on these problems here. So 5 times 9 is going to be 45 is our area. So 45 squared centimeters. It's going to be the whole thing there. And then to find the perimeter, we add all the sides together. So 5, 9, 5, and 9. That's 14 and 14, which is 28. So 28 centimeters. Number 11, we want to find the perimeter in the area. So this is on a Cartesian plane. So if we're going from -4 to 2, that's a total distance of 6. And if we go from +2 to -3, that's a total distance of 5. You could also just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but use your number line. It's there for you. So your area is going to be 6 times 5, which is 30. Then the perimeter is 6, 5, 6, and 5, which is 11 and 11, which would be 22. All right, 13. So this is just like number 16 on the practice test, which was the second most missed problem, I believe. So make sure we know how to do these. I gave you some problems here so you can practice. So on this one, the first thing you're going to want to do is drop in altitude. So that's going to be a right angle in order to find the area, and that's going to be a length of 4. So you can just draw that in on the diagram. So our area is going to be from 1 to 6 is 5. So 5 times 4 divided by 2 is going to be 10. So that's going to be our area. Then find the length of the sides. So ST, we're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem on this one. So it's going to be 3 squared plus 4 squared divided by, or just taking the square root of that. So if I set it up, set it up so I can see what you're doing. So we have 3 here. So we're going to do 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to, we can call this x if we want, is equal to x squared. So 3 squared and 4 squared is going to be 9 and 16, which is 25. And then we don't want x squared, so we take the square root of both sides to undo the square. So we get x is equal to 5. So ST in this case is going to be equal to 5. Oops, let me fix that. I think I can grab it if I grab it from there. No, it's not gonna let me do it. Anyway, so ST is equal to 5. I guess I'll just write it over here. But I want it to be color coded. It's fine. All right, so let's do the next one. So here we have 2 and 4. So 2 squared plus 4 squared is equal to, we'll call it y squared. So I'm going to label this side y. 2 and 4 is going to give me 4 and 16, which is 20. So 20 is equal to y squared. So take the square root of both sides. So to get the square root of 20, let me pull up a calculator real quick. It's going to be a All right, so we're going to do the square root of 20. So 20 caret 0.5, which is going to be 4.47. Okay, so y is equal to 4.47. So ST, or RS in this case, is 4.47. Then to find the perimeter, we just add them all together. So 4.47 plus 5 plus another 5 is going to be 14.47 is our total perimeter. All right, 15. This is a really fun problem. They tell us a rectangle is half the area of a square. If the rectangle is 18 inches by 4 inches, so we have 18 by 4, we want to find first the area of the rectangle. So 4 times 18, in other words, 8 times 9, which is going to be 72. Okay, so it's 72. And then if they tell us the rectangle is half the area of the square, that means the area of the square is going to be twice as much, right? So if that's 72, 72 times 2 is going to be 144. And then if it is a square, that tells us that all the sides are going to be congruent, right? Because squares are have all 4 sides are congruent. So then to find out what the length of one of those sides are, we have, let's say one of the sides is x. So we have x squared, or x times x, is equal to 144. So to find out the length of x, we take the square root of both sides, which will leave us with x is equal to 12. All right, so the length of the side of a square is going to be 12. And then once we know that one of these is 12, we can find out what the perimeter of the square is, because 12 times 4, or 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, or 12 4 times, is going to be equal to 48 inches. What a fun problem. All right, number 16, we want to find the area of the figure by deconstruction. So first thing you can do is break it down into smaller squares or rectangles. You could draw these lines vertically, or you can draw them horizontally to break it down. I think horizontal is the easiest. So 2 times 2 is going to be 4. Same thing over here. So I guess we're assuming that that's going to be the same thing. So if this is 2 and 2, that's going to be 4 on that side as well. Then the other thing we have is if the whole thing is 4, if this side is 4, and that's 2 of it, tells us this part up here, right there, is going to be 2. So then 2 times 7 is going to be 14. It was there the whole time. So we have 14, 4, and 4. Add those all together, which will give us 22. So we have a total area of 22. Find the area of the shaded region. So on this one, this is we're actually going to be subtracting this part because it's like a hole that's not shaded. So we're going to take the area of the whole thing. So 18 times 12, which is 216. That's going to be the area of the whole thing. Then we're going to subtract the area that's there, which is an area of 12, I think. Yeah, it was there the whole time. Funny. All right, so that area is 3 times 4, which is 12. So subtract 12 from 216. So 216 minus 12, which will give us an area of a shaded region, which is 204. Last one I'm going to show you just how to set up is 22. So on this one, it's a little different than what you've seen before because our altitude we're going to draw is going to be going from A and dropping it to the segment BC. So the reason we want to do that is because this is a vertical line, and that means we don't have to do the Pythagorean theorem. If you drew one going from here down to here, first of all, you don't know how to do that yet till right before Christmas. I will show you how to do it. But then it just makes the math really difficult. So draw your altitude here, and then you can find your lengths. So it looks like this length here is 4, and here we have 2, and then this is from 1 to 7, which is 6. So when we're setting up the Pythagorean theorem, we have 4 squared plus 6 squared is equal to, we'll call that x, is equal to x squared. And then the other one is 2 and 6. So 2 squared plus 6 squared is equal to y squared. And then when we add the 2 and the 4, we get the whole thing, which is 6. So add 6 and then whatever x and y is to get the perimeter. And then for our area, we have 6 times 6 divided by 2, which is going to be 18. All right, so you should be able to finish this one. Again, whenever we're doing these problems, just set up the Pythagorean theorem. You can do the rest in the calculator, I don't care. But I want to see how you set it up just so I know that you know how to do the assignment. All right, so less than 15 minutes is like the shortest video ever because we didn't have a lecture, and you should know how to do everything. And if you're not sure about any of these problems, you can always check the solution manual, of course. And I wanted to make it quick and easy for you today so you had extra time to study or to finish turning in assignments, because again, tomorrow is the deadline for the assignment and we're taking the test tomorrow. So good stuff. I will see you guys later. Again, I'll also be on from 11 o'clock to 12 for the Google Meets if you guys had any questions, so you can join me then. See you guys. Bye.